people lined the streets to get a final glimpse, to say goodbye, if you like, to Pope Francis.
For centuries, the Vatican has been shrouded in mystery. Its towering walls and sacred halls hold secrets that few outsiders have ever glimpsed. But recently, a series of shocking revelations have begun to emerge, hinting that the Vatican possesses artifacts so powerful, so extraordinary, that they could completely rewrite everything we thought we knew about human history. Deep within the Vatican Apostolic Archive, formerly known as the Secret Archive, lie countless scrolls, relics, and manuscripts dating back thousands of years. Hidden away from public view, protected by centuries of tradition and secrecy, these documents tell a story that runs counter to the established narrative of civilization's origins. Among the most explosive findings is the existence of ancient maps that predate known history. Some of these maps depict the world's continents with a level of accuracy that should have been impossible before the invention of advanced navigational tools. One particularly controversial artifact is a metallic tablet discovered in the Middle East, believed to be over 10,000 years old. Unlike any known metalwork from that era, the tablet's inscription suggests the existence of a universal language, one that connects civilizations across continents and millennia. Linguists who have seen leaked photographs claim the language shares similarities with Sumerian, Mayan, and Egyptian hieroglyphs, suggesting a once unified global civilization. Further still, hidden in underground vaults beneath Vatican City are said to be skeletal remains that defy scientific explanation. Skulls elongated far beyond the natural parameters of human anatomy, bones that are larger and denser than those of any known species. While official sources attribute such anomalies to tribal practices or genetic disorders, some experts privately admit that the sheer consistency and global distribution of these remains suggests something more. Perhaps a now extinct branch of humanity, or something not human at all. Documents dating from the early Middle Ages reveal that the Church actively sought out and confiscated ancient knowledge during the Crusades. Templars under Vatican orders scoured the Holy Land not just for religious relics, but for scientific and esoteric knowledge. What they brought back forms the foundation of the vast hidden collection now stored within the Vatican walls. In the Renaissance, as the thirst for knowledge swept across Europe, certain Vatican scholars attempted to integrate forbidden ancient wisdom into Christian doctrine. Leonardo da Vinci, rumored to have had limited access to these archives, may have drawn inspiration from knowledge vastly older than Roman or Greek antiquity. His futuristic inventions and anatomical studies hint at insights that would not reappear until centuries later. Another chilling revelation involves manuscripts chronicling great catastrophes, floods, earthquakes, celestial impacts that wiped out advanced civilizations. These texts not only recount disasters, but hint that humanity's timeline has been reset multiple times. Civilizations rising, reaching unimaginable heights, only to be obliterated and forgotten. If true, modern humans would not be the pinnacle of civilization, but merely the latest in a cycle stretching back hundreds of thousands of years. But why would the Vatican keep these artifacts secret? The answer, according to historians who have dared to speak out, is control. Controlling history means controlling belief. By shaping humanity's understanding of its past, institutions can maintain influence over its future. Revealing that human history is far older, far stranger, and perhaps even influenced by non-human forces would shatter the foundations of religion, politics, and science alike. There are rumors that within the deepest vaults, there exist devices capable of harnessing energies that modern science is only beginning to understand. Devices that could revolutionize energy production, medicine, and even space travel. The suppression of such technologies could be motivated not just by fear of societal collapse, but by a desire to retain monopolies on power and knowledge. Witnesses who have allegedly seen these artifacts describe rooms filled with items that defy explanation. Crystals that emit light without a power source. Mechanical devices etched with microscopic symbols. Books bound in unknown materials. globes that display constellations not visible from Earth. Each item a piece of a puzzle, painting a very different picture of humanity's place in the cosmos. There are also reports of documents detailing humanity's interactions with non-human intelligences. Some texts dating back to ancient Mesopotamia describe beings descending from the heavens in ships of fire. Others tell of knowledge gifted to humanity, mathematics, agriculture, architecture, by visitors from the stars. If these accounts are true, the story of human development would have to be rewritten to include extraterrestrial intervention. The Vatican's reluctance to reveal these truths could stem from a fear that humanity is not ready. If society discovered that many of its core beliefs were based on incomplete or manipulated information, the resulting chaos could be unimaginable. Social order, religious faith, even concepts of government and law could collapse under the weight of the real history of mankind. Yet, in the age of information, secrets are harder to keep. Whistleblowers, rogue scholars, and accidental leaks continue to chip away at the wall of silence. The growing movement to demand transparency from the Vatican is gaining momentum, fueled by a collective yearning to know who we really are, where we truly come from, and what our destiny might be. Hidden manuscripts tell of ancient technologies that allowed civilizations to manipulate gravity, travel across continents in hours, and perhaps even venture into space. The implications are staggering. If ancient humans, or their extraterrestrial allies, mastered such feats, what else might have been possible? Could humanity have once been a spacefaring species, only to fall into oblivion through war, catastrophe, or cosmic intervention? And what of the moral and philosophical implications? If beings from beyond the stars did guide human evolution, what does that say about our religions, our gods, our very sense of purpose? The answers may lie locked away, deep within the labyrinthine archives of the Vatican, waiting for the right moment, or the right person, to bring them to light. Today, new generations of researchers, armed with technology and driven by insatiable curiosity, are pushing harder than ever to access these hidden troves. Pressure mounts on religious and political leaders to release at least part of the hidden knowledge. The world stands on the brink of an unprecedented revelation, one that could shatter old paradigms and usher in a new era of understanding. Perhaps someday soon, the walls of secrecy will crumble, and humanity will finally learn the full truth. Until then, we can only piece together the fragments leaked by courageous insiders and dream of the day when the Vatican's hidden artifacts, those silent witnesses to forgotten eons, will speak again. Because once these secrets emerge, humanity will never be the same. Our past, our origins, our destiny, all of it will be rewritten. And what we find may be more wondrous, more terrifying, and more transformative than anything we ever imagined. But if humanity were to finally uncover these Vatican-held secrets, the implications would stretch far beyond academic debate or religious upheaval. Entire frameworks of power would shift. Entire nations might fall or rise based on the new truths unearthed. Our very understanding of what it means to be human would be thrown into chaos. And perhaps that is the true reason the Vatican has remained silent for centuries. Sources close to the Vatican archives claim that among the most closely guarded artifacts is a collection of devices attributed to a pre-Diluvian civilization. These devices, often described as crystalline or metallic objects, seem to emit low-frequency vibrations detectable only with specialized equipment. Some researchers speculate that they are remnants of lost energy systems, perhaps remnants of what Plato called the Atlantean power grid. Eyewitness accounts suggest that Vatican scientists, working in utmost secrecy, have attempted to reverse engineer some of these artifacts. The results, however, have been kept classified, with only vague rumors escaping into the wider world. Some whisper of breakthroughs in anti-gravity propulsion. Others talk about quantum communication devices that predate modern theory by millennia. In the early 20th century, a prominent Vatican scholar allegedly translated a series of ancient texts that suggested early human civilizations were seeded intentionally, not evolving naturally from apes as modern science teaches, but rather modified through deliberate genetic interventions. These ancient accounts eerily mirror the Sumerian tales of the Anunnaki, beings who came from the heavens to create mankind in their image. If true, these revelations would not only collapse traditional religious narratives, but also force a complete rewriting of evolutionary biology and anthropology. Humanity would be seen not as a random accident, but as a created species, part of a broader cosmic agenda stretching across the stars. Another tantalizing discovery housed deep within the Vatican is said to be a preserved artifact resembling the Ark of the Covenant, or at least a device fulfilling the same described function. Ancient descriptions of the Ark detail a gold-covered chest capable of emitting lethal energies, mysterious lights, and even voices. Some scholars now propose that the Ark was a technological device, not merely a religious symbol. A piece of advanced machinery, dangerous and sacred, misunderstood by ancient peoples. Suppressed Vatican documents reportedly suggest that similar devices were once common among early civilizations, but were later hidden or destroyed during massive global cataclysms. Survivors of these cataclysms, the priest-kings, the sages, the demigods, became the mythological figures of antiquity, remembered in fragmented religious texts and oral traditions. One manuscript written in ancient Greek and hidden for centuries speaks of beings descending upon earth not as gods, but as caretakers and wardens. Their purpose was not to enslave humanity, but to guide it, cultivate it, protect it. Yet something went wrong. Rival factions among these celestial visitors waged wars that devastated the early Earth, leading to floods, volcanic winters, and the near extinction of the human race. These texts suggest that the great flood myths, from the Epic of Gilgamesh to the biblical story of Noah, are not mere allegories, but historical memories of these wars. Catastrophes triggered by conflicts between advanced beings, with humanity caught in the crossfire. Within the Vatican's hidden chambers, it's believed that original documents from the Library of Alexandria are preserved. While the world believes that the Great Library was destroyed by fire, insiders claim that many of its most important works were secretly relocated before the catastrophe, taken to Rome, and later absorbed into the Vatican's vaults. These documents could reveal the lost sciences of antiquity, blueprints for ancient flying machines, knowledge of zero-point energy, charts of celestial bodies known but forgotten, and perhaps even instructions for interstellar travel. Some insiders whisper about a forbidden gospel, one never included in the Bible, that details not only the life of Jesus Christ, but also his interactions with beings from other worlds. This gospel allegedly portrays Jesus not merely as a savior, but as a cosmic envoy, bringing lost knowledge back to a fallen humanity. If such a text exists, its release would shake the foundations of Christianity itself, forcing billions to reconsider their beliefs about divinity, destiny, and the nature of salvation. Adding to the mystery are reports of ancient mechanical devices hidden away for centuries. Devices similar to the Antikythera mechanism, but far more complex, capable of predicting solar eclipses, planetary alignments, and even seismic activity with astonishing precision. These machines imply a level of scientific understanding lost and forgotten through the ages. In one particularly chilling account, a defrocked Vatican archivist claimed to have seen a sealed room containing humanoid remains unlike anything known to science. Beings with elongated skulls, massive eyes, and spindly limbs. Preserved under glass, these bodies may be relics of a time when humanity shared the Earth with other intelligent species, or perhaps visitors from beyond. Even more unsettling is the theory that the Vatican is aware of an impending return, that the ancient beings who once walked the Earth are not dead, but dormant, and that certain artifacts are not merely relics, but beacons or keys designed to awaken them when the stars align once more. Such theories are bolstered by ancient astronomical texts hidden within the Vatican, describing cosmic cycles spanning tens of thousands of years. These cycles predict periods of enlightenment, catastrophe, and renewal, suggesting that humanity's history is not linear but cyclical, endlessly rising and falling like the tides of an endless cosmic ocean. Hidden carvings tucked away in forbidden catacombs beneath Vatican City depict scenes of human and non-human cooperation, figures trading knowledge, building vast cities, sailing across cosmic seas. These images, ignored or dismissed by Orthodox scholars, may offer clues to an ancient alliance between early humans and visitors from the stars. In the 1970s, a secret task force codenamed Project Ecclesia was reportedly created by the Vatican to investigate extraterrestrial phenomena. Documents from the project describe crash retrievals, encounters with unidentified aerial phenomena, and the recovery of ancient artifacts with properties beyond modern science. If these reports are authentic, they suggest that the Vatican has known about humanity's cosmic connections for decades and chosen to keep the knowledge hidden. But the walls of secrecy are starting to crack. Recent leaks suggest that some within the Church now advocate for disclosure, believing that humanity deserves to know its true history. They argue that the age of secrecy must end, that humanity must face the reality of its cosmic heritage, however terrifying, however transformative. In a secret meeting held in 2020, high-ranking Church officials reportedly discussed the gradual release of information over the coming decades. The plan would involve controlled disclosures, ancient texts revealing lost civilizations, artifacts displayed under scientific auspices, and eventually, acknowledgement of non-human intelligence's role in human history. But there are others, entrenched within the corridors of power, who resist. They fear that the revelation would erode faith, spark panic, and topple the fragile structures that keep society together. As the struggle continues behind closed doors, more pieces of the puzzle continue to leak out. Photographs of ancient relics, snippets of forbidden manuscripts, whispered testimonies from those who have seen the truth with their own eyes. Each new leak brings us closer to the inevitable moment when the truth can no longer be denied. A truth that tells us we are not alone. A truth that tells us we are far older, far stranger, and far more connected to the cosmos than we ever dared believe. When that truth finally emerges, humanity will stand at a crossroads. Will we collapse into chaos, overwhelmed by the loss of old certainties? Or will we rise, embracing our true heritage, stepping boldly into a future greater than any prophet or king could have imagined? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain: the Vatican's hidden artifacts, those silent witnesses to forgotten worlds, will not stay hidden forever. The gears of revelation are already in motion, and when they turn, they will change everything. Whispers tell of an ancient celestial map hidden deep within the Vatican library that charts not only the stars we know, but those unseen, worlds invisible to the naked eye. This map, said to be carved into an impossibly thin sheet of an unknown alloy, suggests that humanity's true place in the cosmos has long been misunderstood. Instead of isolated beings trapped on a small blue planet, we may be citizens of a far larger and older cosmic federation, a truth systematically erased from history. The map's origins are a mystery. Some claim it predates the rise of ancient Egypt. Others say it was given to the early church fathers by visitors from beyond the stars, a gesture of alliance or perhaps a warning. This celestial chart reportedly depicts portals between worlds, natural wormholes through space, enabling instant travel across vast distances. It is said to describe not only Earth's location, but our world's significance as a crossroads, a kind of galactic meeting point for civilizations both ancient and unimaginable. Why would the Vatican keep such a map hidden? The answer may lie in control, Knowledge is power.